All right, guys, let's hop right into it. In today's day and age where technology is ever growing faster than ever, everyone's looking for speed, faster cameras, bigger camera resolutions, and just, instant gratification. I feel like that's the main thing going on with this society and this generation when it comes to camera. But in 2025, I decided to add another camera to my arsenal, and I decided to go in a completely different direction. I bought the Fuji X100F, which is a 8-year-old camera, and although this is not the latest and greatest, it's not the fastest by any means, this camera has drastically changed my approach when it comes to composition, photography, and just my creativeness. And in this video, I'm going to tell you guys why I love this so much and why this has been a game changer in my life already, and I've only owned it for a few weeks now. You already know what time it is. If you like content like this, make sure you like and subscribe to your boy. Thank you guys for all the love and support, but let's get right back into the video. All right, so I spend most of my time working with new high-end cameras that has high resolutions. Again, I'm a cinematographer and filmmaker, so resolutions, camera quality, image sharpness, even autofocus, I pay attention to all those things in my cameras. But I felt like I was missing something when it came to photography, especially in my everyday life. I wanted a camera that I can just take out and practice composition. I could just take out anywhere and be comfortable having it and not feel like I have a big professional camera with me. And that's what really drew me into buying this Fujifilm X100F, and this is my first time ever owning a Fuji camera, and I have to say this has been the best investment of 2025 so far, and I'm so happy that I got this camera. So a lot of people actually desire this camera, and it really rose when it comes to popularity. It has a very big following, but I have never shot Fujifilm before. And again, this is an 8-year-old camera. They released 2 different versions after this. I believe the newest version is the 6, but the reason why I decided to go with this is because it offers amazing image quality. It's small, light, and compact, and plus it was affordable, and it was within the price range that I can afford. So as a cinematographer, I decided to buy the F because I don't plan on using this for video. I have video cameras that I will use if I travel to capture all my video footage. I just want a dedicated camera that I could keep on me, and no matter where I went, I can capture things. I can practice composition. I could just, see the shot, get the shot, and keep it simple like that. But as far as specs, for everybody that's interested, this camera actually has a 24 megapixel sensor and is an APS-C sensor, and it also has a fixed lens, which is a 35 millimeter lens. I believe it is 20 something, but the full frame equivalent is 35 millimeters, which is perfect for me because 35 millimeters is my favorite focal length in general. So it gives me a chance to just practice my cinematography, which sounds weird to say because this is a photo camera, but there are many times where I see a shot and I'm like, if I was filming this, what would my composition be? And I just, pick this up, I snap a photo, and it's a way for me to just practice and get better. At the end of the day, the only way you're gonna get better at stuff is if you put in reps and you do it over and over. Repetition really is key when it comes to getting better at any craft. And in order for me to get better at my filmmaking and my photography, I wanted a camera that I could always have on me. And I know we always have a camera on our smartphones, but the smartphone just doesn't inspire me. And this camera inspires me to just go out and capture stuff, just go out and capture everyday life. So the number one thing that I love about this camera is that I didn't buy this camera for professional work. I bought this for personal use, for my own selfish reasons, to be able to capture my own personal life, my everyday life, my family life as things evolve and I have kids and stuff like that. Being able to just take pictures is something that is definitely amazing, and the 24 megapixels that's within this camera is more than enough for what I plan to do with this camera. Even if I want to print out some photos, I can definitely do that with this camera, and I get amazing image quality. I'm gonna drop some random photos that I've taken with this camera, and I haven't had this camera for long, so I'm going to be taking way more photos throughout the year. It's also been very cold outside, so I haven't been able to get outside as much to take as much pictures as I would like, but I've already had an amazing time with this camera. Ultimately, this camera forces me to slow down. I have to be way more conscious when I pick my shots, when I pick my frames, because I'm not using my A7 IV where I could just zoom in and out and reposition. I got so used to doing that where it's like I love my A7 IV and it's one of the best cameras that I've ever owned, but I feel like at times when it comes to photography, it's like I've become lazy just because I can just zoom in and out. It's so easy for me to get the shot or to get really nice shots. shots that is just like second nature for me. But with this camera, I'm forced to think more. A part of it can be because I've never used Fujifilm before also, so I'm going through the settings and I'm making sure everything is right before I take the photo. I'm also slowing down. The shutter is slower, it's not as fast as all the latest and greatest cameras, and I'm positioning my shots, and you know, I just love the ability to just slow down and capture what's in front of me. And then again, why a lot of people like this camera is the design. Honestly, the design is second to none. The form factor, the vintage aesthetic, the vintage look. I feel like I'm Gordon Parks, right? Gordon Parks is my favorite photographer. If you guys don't know who that is, definitely go check out his work. He's amazing. He's done so many amazing things. And there's times where I'm just out there and I feel like I just feel swaggy with this camera. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's really just a vibe. Like, I can just take my pictures. It gives you a nice vintage aesthetic, and that's something that I love about it. Like, at the end of the day, it's important for you to get a camera that inspires you. And to say that I really love this camera because of how it looks sounds a little bit shallow when people say that, but at the end of the day, it's about inspiration, and this camera just inspires me to go and create. And on top of it looking vintage, it kind of has a vintage feel. When I take a picture, I hear a nice little and it sounds old school. It's not a film camera, but it kind of makes you feel like you're shooting with a film camera digitally, and there's no other better feeling. So if you guys have the flexibility in your budget, I would definitely suggest you guys to go get an everyday carry camera. It does not have to be high-end specs, high-end resolutions. I actually considered getting the very first version of this camera, which I believe only has 16 megapixels, but for a lot of the stuff that I plan to do with this, you can still print photos out with 16 megapixels. You just can't print large format photos. And if you guys aren't planning to print and you plan on posting on social media, it's definitely going to be sharp enough. So with that being said, I guess the question asked is, in a new world where technology is ever evolving and there's so many new cameras, should you take a step back and look at some of the older cameras out there and just buy one of those and use it and get creative with it and have fun? Me personally, if I was 100% into photography and this was the only camera that I had and I wasn't using this for professional work where I had to change my lenses and all that, I would be 100% satisfied. I would be very happy with this camera. Again, a lot of times with all these new cameras, new technologies, it's hard to get a gauge or understand exactly what we need. So I think it's important for all of my creators out there, everybody out there that's interested in a camera. Maybe you already have cameras and you're looking to add something else to your arsenal. Sometimes maybe not look at the new cameras that's coming out. Go look at some of the old cameras. Go look for some cameras that inspire you and that just inspire you to create, because this has been something that I wish I would have done way longer. I literally took a trip to Turkey last year and I wish I had this camera with me, because when I went to Turkey, it was just so much carrying all my equipment, and sometimes you want to travel and just experience the vacation. You want to just have fun. You don't want to carry all this equipment and get content, and it just feels like a drag. I would have been able to easily just have this around my neck and just capture the things that I felt like I wanted to capture, and it not slow me down. Or, well, yes, it would slow me down in a way when it comes to my creative process, but I wouldn't have to carry different lenses and all these different things. So this is definitely a camera that I'm going to be keeping in my arsenal for a very long time, and whenever I'm traveling, I'm definitely going to have this camera. And for all of you guys out there that are interested in a camera like this, trust me, the image quality is amazing. Everything about this camera is amazing. I don't regret one thing about this camera. And you guys let me know what old cameras you guys might be rocking, what other cameras you feel like I should have considered when making a purchase like this. But I have no regrets and I'm really happy. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to another rant. I'm out.